Right, Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem. Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekahak Radash. Shalom, salutations and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth from. Yahweh Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders, the prophets, teachers, and evangelists of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth from. Yahweh Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Shalom also to the speckled bird, the confused space, the Akim and Akwaf, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. And I wanted to speak about what we have right here is Arrows of Indignation, 1442, subscribe and be edified, and various topics, like he said, I forgot what his name is, Dr. something, but, he's real popular right now, especially on TikTok, and, he's coming up very accurate about some of the things he's talking about with Babylon and, with the infrastructure and the finances and everything. He's coming up very, very, he's right with some of the things he's saying. And the thing is that the elder apostles have been telling you this for many years now. But, when you want to listen to the heathen or Esau, then you believe it, talking to you, Jake. So I'm going to let it play. I may stop it in the middle, however, and give you some scripture. So let's get it.
America is desperate, it's anxious, it's afraid that its empire is collapsing, and therefore it is lashing out against the world. When America won the Cold War, the entire world celebrated this. Remember when the Berlin Wall fell and the jubilation, exhilaration of the Germans when they could unify as a people. And there was great hope in the 90s that American hegemony would lead to Pax Americana, a time of peace and prosperity for everyone. And for the most part, this was true. I mean, if you were in Europe, if you were in the Anglosphere, if you were in China, then yeah, you had a very good time. But unfortunately, America started to become corrupt and arrogant. So after 9/11, America launched these wars in the Middle East for no particular reason. Destroyed Afghanistan as a viable nation state, destroyed Iraq, which in 1980s was a flourishing, prosperous middle-class nation. It destroyed Libya, destroyed Syria, again, for no particular reasons. And so America started to become this bully in the Middle East in order to enact its certain ideas about the world, okay? And then you have this massive corruption, which led to the 2008 great financial crisis, which almost collapsed the entire global economy. So what's happening was that because America was the only hegemon, most countries of the world were sending their investments to America, and Wall Street became the most powerful entity in America. It led to the financialization of America, so it shipped its manufacturing overseas, primarily to China, and America focused on financial services. And that led to speculation, that led to gambling, that led to risky assets like derivatives. And ultimately, this is imploded in the 2008 great financial crisis. And not only did no one go to jail for all these crimes and these misdemeanors, but in fact, the financial industry was able to cement its local power over America. And this has led to, first of all, massive inequality in America, where if you're just an average person, the American dream is dead to you. You can no longer afford to buy a house. You can no longer afford to have a family. You can no longer afford to retire.
America's done, man. America is finished with. And, a lot of Edomites see it, but, for those that study and learn and listen and teach, this is it for Babylon, man. This is Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, that wine is what? His laws, his democracy. He is a proud man, so he goes across the world conquering and giving them democracy, which makes him proud that everybody's scared of him and that he could do what he want to do all around the world. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Neither keepeth at home, so he's never at home. He's always in somebody else's business, always in somebody else's wars, always in somebody else's land. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, in is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long into him that ladeth himself with thick clay? So what is ladeth? And thick clay, this has been coming out a lot, which is debt. When you look it up, it's a batyat, but we can look it up. That's in the that's in the that's in the Paleo Hebrew. I already told you what thick clay is. The Hebrew word is batyat, but it's talking about debt. But ladeth, let's give what ladeth mean. Ladeth, kabad, to be heavy, to be weighty, be grievous, be hard, be rich, be honorable, be glorious, be burdensome, be honored. So it says, shall not all take up a parable against him, and taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth in which is not his? How long into him that weigheth himself with thick clay? Building up what? Building up debt. That's what that whatchamacallit clock's about. It's debt.
It's led to massive inequality. It's also led to massive corruption, where Washington has been completely co-opted by the financial elite. Both the Democrats and Republicans serve the financial elite of Wall Street. And the third thing is that it's led to complacency. It's led to arrogance. America no longer makes things. It just makes things up. I mean, America has become this fantasy land. And so, the American empire was not sustainable. But at the same time, the American empire still has the greatest military in the world. And the Russians were really the first to challenge America's global hegemony by...
And even so, America is also being called, have the greatest military. They have been challenged by China and Russia. And now, one of the prophecies is about to come to pass soon. But nothing comes to pass until the MOTB actually becomes mandatory. Then everything else will come, but it's going to be so fast. You know what I mean? So fast. But Yahweh Shah is going to gather these troops, including you so-called Israelites who decide that you want to be in Esau's military to fight for him. You're going to be destroyed. You're going to be annihilated. This is Isaiah 3:24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, the burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And this is what's going to happen soon. Esau he's getting ready to implement the draft. And yeah, man, it's gonna be all out chaos out here, man. It's going down. It's building up to get ready for WW3, but you know it's happening. This is 2nd Ezra 16-17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Let's get back to him real quick.
Invading Ukraine. And at that time, the Americans did three things, right? The first thing that they did was they sanctioned Russia, which meant that Russia is no longer able to trade with anyone through the SWIFT system, the financial architecture of the world, you know. So the SWIFT system, the Russians were banned from. Second thing that they did was split in theft, where $300 billion of Russian assets were seized by the Europeans and the Americans. $300 billion still sits frozen in European banks. You know, a few months ago, the Europeans were discussing the possibility of using these Russian stolen money to finance the war in Ukraine. And the third thing that the Americans did was blockade or ask Europe to stop buying cheap Russian energy. We know exactly what happened afterwards. Okay, the Nord Stream pipeline was blown up, and Germany was forced to pay 50% more for its energy needs from the Americans, liquefied natural gas from the Americans, and so the German economy basically collapsed, right? So. By using its imperial powers, what America did was not really destroy Russia. Actually, America destroyed its reputation, right? Because if you can just steal money that people put in your banks, no one's going to put any money in your banks anymore. And so this has led to a massive downgrade in the power of the U.S. currency, the U.S. dollar.
And this is why, for you jakes that are in the military, man. You know, you thought you was gonna, take the easy way out and had the military support your lifestyle of just, paying and having this and, just gonna have a career and BSing. But now you got to go to war for them. Now you got to go and die for them. So now Shalom to the brother Ishaya, who I also was listening to earlier to get inspiration to do this video. But he did a great edifying video. But so now you got to go to war for this devil, and you got to put your life. You're going to put your life on. You're going to be a sacrifice to this devil now for nothing. And now you want to be rebellious about it, because you realize that you're going to be deployed to have to go to work, and it's unfortunate, but it's the way Yahweh and Yahushua wanted it to be. Isaiah 30:1, Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, and take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, and they may add sin to sin. And that's what's going to happen, man. It's going to be sin to sin. This is this is Ezekiel 3:7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel is impudent and hard-headed. That's right, man. They don't get it. They don't see. And they're about to get ready to see. You still got Israel still trying to, go on trips and plan to go on, on cruises and all of these crazy things. It's like, how you not paying attention to what's going on in the world? But they don't care until it happens on their front doorstep. Then it's a problem. Then we need to fix it. We need to fix it. Jeremiah 5:23. But this people hath a revolting and a rebellious heart, and they are revolted and gone. That's right. That's why 2/3 of our people got to go, because they're wicked as hell. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is frustrated. He tired of them. I'm going to let him finish up real quick, and I got maybe 1 or 2 more scriptures.
It's America cannibalized its own allies. Europe has collapsed economically. Germany is suffering really, really badly. And it's really emboldened the world set against America. So remember, what happened after the Russian war is that the aura of inevitability and invincibility that sustained the American empire start to be broken. And then you have these nations in Africa who started to seek self-sufficiency. They wanted national sovereignty over their own resources. And so they threw out, the French colonial powers, they threw out the French military, the Sahel, right? And so we're seeing this throughout the world. And so under Trump, the response is to show the world that America still is the global hegemon and that America has no peer adversary. And that's why we saw the kidnapping of Maduro, President Maduro from Venezuela, which is a blatant violation of international law. It was a complete humiliation of the Venezuela nation state as well as its people. And then, of course, remember that they paraded Maduro on the streets of New York as though he was this captured war prisoner. And so it's humiliating for him as well. And then after Venezuela, of course, you have this war in Iran. And this war in Iran was, again, meant to show the world that America still has it, that the American empire cannot be challenged. And now it's kind of blow up in their face, okay? But that's a back.
Exactly. So this is what you need to do, Israel. It's Isaiah 55:6. I'm going to start at actually 5. Isaiah 55:5. Abba Raktazah. Yahweh Raktazah. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and the nations know not thee, shall run unto thee because of the Lord thy power, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, because your time is running out. So you need to be seeking the Lord as much as possible, and praying. And like the brother Ashayah was saying, one of the main things that we tell you, or we are teaching you, is to learn and to repent, is to fear Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua and repent, because that liberty, that grace period is about to be done with real soon. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking about years. We're talking about days. We're talking about months and weeks. All right? Jeremiah 29:13. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. So you're not going to find the Lord if you're not sincere and true. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua don't need us. We need him. You know what I mean? He chooses us. We don't choose him. So you need to get yourself right with the Lord, because we're in that time, man. Can't stress that enough. We're in that time. Psalms 10:4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So what he want to do is, what he's talking about Esau, is send your sons and daughters out to go and die and sacrifice themselves while they got time to run inside these bunkers and hide. You know what I mean? That's what they want to do. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So even though this man is talking the truth about what's happening, there's nothing, I don't know if he's saying that, but there's nothing no one can do to stop it. All you have is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You have to be an Israelite to have that. So hang in there. Pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and repent. Fast too. I don't talk and speak enough about fasting, but it's very important in this thing of ours as well. All right? So stay prayed up, man. Abarakazah, you edified. With that, I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Radash, Shalom, salutations and double honors again to the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, and Shalom to the elect of Baba Ball real soon. Baba Kushah, Shalom.